What's up, Bills Mafia? Well, here we are, 3-2 after that 23-20 loss to the Houston Texans this Sunday. Boy, oh boy. I got 5 takeaways from that game, so stay tuned. But before we get to that, let's get to that intro.
That means that we punched our ticket to go try to win a Super Bowl, and that's it. We got one game at a time, starting at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Love y'all, boys. Love you. Love you. I'll go to war with every single one of you, every game, all right? Love you, 1-7. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Win.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it douse, not what I'm about, have your fucking cloud. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
It's showtime.
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am Tommy. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell because I always forget to tell you. What is up, Bills Mafia? It's not Victory Monday. That much I can tell you. That is now 2 Mondays in a row where we are saying the same thing. And now we are saying even more and have a little bit more outrage towards what is going on with the Buffalo Bills, especially on offense. Yeah, look.
Question. You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Well, y'all want the truth. The truth is we were given a lot of smoke and mirrors going into this 2024 season. And right now, it is showing its ugly face. What is going on with this Buffalo Bills offense? Where to begin? Where to begin? First of all, let's dial it back here. Let's go back in time. Before I get on this, I guess, rant of mine about Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott, what they have done as recently, as if they've done recent. I got to give their props for what they have done and what they've brought back to the city of Buffalo, which is a winning team, a team that you could be proud of, a team that was in the gutter for many, many seasons. We can't forget that. We can't forget what they've done up to this point. However, and there's my credit, there's my dues, and they're by the way, they are due that respect. They should be shown some love for bringing us at least good football back to Buffalo. Now, here we are, though. Year 8 under Sean McDermott. And basically year 8 with Brandon Beane. Because he got here in 28. He got here. No, I'm sorry. I take that back. This is year 7 for Brandon Beane. Because Brandon Beane got here in 2018. Well, actually, no. I take that back. Brandon Beane actually got here in 2017, but he wasn't part of that draft class. He came in right after Whaley, pretty much right after the draft class. So I'm going to say they're both in year 8 because they are. Right now, look, man, we were sold on the whole trust the process thing. And I think that works up until year 3 or 4. And then you have to start seeing real results. And when I'm talking about real results, I'm talking about a trip to the Super Bowl. At least a trip to the Super Bowl by at least year 5, year 6. We've tasted the AFC Championship one time in 2020. We have not been back since. This is year 8. Their motto is to build through the draft, keep the players in house that earned it in their rookie deals, pay them, hire within as far as the coaching staff goes. Build a good defense because we have a defensive-minded head coach. So draft heavily on defense. Free agents, pay them the most on defense. And the offense will suffer. But we'll be okay because we have an elite defense. I'm guessing was there. And we have an elite quarterback, right? Okay. It's not working because the defense has never been elite. The defense has been good. And you're lying to yourself if you think this defense was ever elite. This defense has been a good defense, but it's never been an elite defense. It's never been a defense where we go into a season and go, man, we can pretty much win with this defense. Right? This isn't, the Buccaneers team when they won a Super Bowl with Johnson. This isn't the Ravens team when they won with Flacco. This is a good defense, but this is also a defense that falls apart in the playoffs and also falls apart in the regular season with players getting hurt, right? Because Sean McDermott likes to get undersized players. And usually these undersized players, guess what? They get injured and they don't stay healthy. And the proof is in the pudding. Look at our defense. So here we are. We're year 8 in, and they wanted us to believe that, okay, we're going to be okay on offense, even though we got rid of Diggs, which, by the way, I was all up for it. I'm still okay with them trading Diggs away because Diggs didn't want to be here. And listen, man, if you don't want to be on the team for me, then you got to go. Like if your heart isn't in this team, for this town, for the city, for the players next to you that's going out there, blood, sweat, and tears every Sunday, every Monday, Thursday, then you got to go, regardless of how great you are of a player. So I understand the move. However, they wanted us to believe that by bringing in the guys they brought in, that this offense and this philosophy of everybody eats would work. And yeah, I think we all kind of bought in because we were at one point 3-0. And we were like, yeah, everybody eats is working. But I think we are blinded by the record. And I was blinded too. I have to admit that. And if you go back and you go, to week 1, and I'm going to break these games down, like just at least the stats. We'll go backwards in time. Okay. Let's go back to week 1 against the Cardinals in Buffalo. Our leading receiver was Keon Coleman, our rookie, 4 receptions for 51 yards on 5 targets. Okay. Khalil Shakir, 3 receptions. He had 3 receptions on 3 targets. James Cook, 3 receptions on 3 targets for 32 yards. So 51 from Coleman, 42 from Shakir, and 32 from James Cook. The next guy up, Mac Hollins, two catches, 25 yards on 2 targets. Dawson Knox, the guy that we're paying a lot of money to, 1 reception, 23 yards on 2 targets. MVS, the guy that got, a pretty decent contract for this offseason, 19 yards, 1 catch, 2 targets. Curtis Samuel, another guy we paid, 2 catches, 15 yards, and 2 targets. Dalton Kincaid, the guy that we all thought is going to be the guy this year, the guy that, will get 1,000 yards, the most targets, touchdowns. He had one catch for 11 yards on 2 targets. That's week 1. Okay, we won 34-28. It wasn't a pretty win. And I chalked that up to saying, it's week 1, a little bit of rust, right? Josh is still trying to get familiar with his new team, at least some of the new players on the team. Then you go to week 2, 31-10, we win. Beautiful win, right? Spanked the Dolphins in Miami. Here's the receivers. Khalil Shakir, 5 receptions, 54 yards, 5 targets. The next guy up, 33 yards, Ty Johnson, 1 reception. Dalton Kincaid, 4 receptions, 33 yards on 4 targets. James Cook, 1 reception, 17 yards, 1 target. Curtis Samuel, once again, the guy that we're paying. 1 reception, 3 yards, and 2 targets. Matt Collins, nothing. MVS, nothing. Keon Coleman, nothing. Okay, let's see if that changes. Now, mind you, we're 2-0 at this point. All right, let's go to the Jags, right? Oh, blowout, 47-10. 3-0, baby. We're looking hot. Well, let's look at the receivers. Khalil Shakir. Okay, here we go. 72 yards, 6 targets, 6 receptions. James Cook. He's our next best receiver. You're running back, but next best receiver this day. 48 yards and 5 targets, 4 receptions. Dalton Kincaid. 3 receptions, 41 yards on 5 targets. Ty Johnson. 3 receptions, 28 yards on 3 targets. Keon Coleman, 1 reception, 24 yards. Curtis Samuel, 3 receptions, 22 yards and 3 targets. Matt Collins, 1 for 16. MVS, 1 for 7. Knox, once again, 1 for 7. Not involved. By the way, Knox, that was at his first game where he even had a reception. Let's see. He didn't have one in week 2. And in week 1, he had, let's see here. He had 1 reception for 23 yards. Not very good. Okay, let's go into the Ravens game where here is our first loss, 35-10. Receivers, Khalil Shakir, 4 receptions, 62 yards, 5 targets. Keon Coleman, 3 receptions, 51. Dalton Kincaid, 5 receptions, 47. James Cook, 1 for 9. Curtis Samuel, 2 for 8. Matt Collins, 1 for 5. MVS, nothing. Dawson Knox, nothing. Okay, let's go into yesterday's game. 23-20 loss. Keon Coleman, 1 reception, 49 yards. Dalton Kincaid, 2 receptions, 34 yards. Matt Collins on 6 targets, by the way. 2 receptions, 27 yards. James Cook, 2 for 17. And MVS, nothing. Curtis Samuel, nothing. By the way, 6 targets for Matt Collins tied with Dalton Kincaid in that game. And also in week 4 against the Ravens, Matt Collins also had 6 targets, and he was second behind Kincaid at 7. So you see where I'm going with this, guys? I hope you do. The receivers that we brought in here, except for one guy, Khalil Shakir, who, by the way, I think is going to be a good receiver in the NFL. He's proven that. We need him, and it showed this last game how bad we need Khalil Shakir out on the field. But can we be honest? He hasn't even cracked 100 yards yet. And he is our leading receiver. He is the go-to guy. Look at the rest of the team. When Matt Collins is your second most targeted player in the last 2 games, there is a major problem. There's a major fucking problem. Matt Collins there's a reason why he's only been on an NFL roster for for less than 1 year, right? It's only 1 year. 1 year gone. 1 year gone. This is like his 6th team. He doesn't make it past 1 year. Why did we only sign him 1 year? Because obviously he was cheap, special teams guy. But I didn't think he was going to be the focal point of the offense. Curtis Samuel, a guy that I was excited for. I'm not going to lie. I was like, yeah, this guy, man, has pretty good numbers with bad quarterbacks. He's going on to a team with a great quarterback. I expect even better from Curtis Samuel. Well, guess what? We've gotten nothing from Curtis Samuel. Now, I don't know if that's because of his turf toe thing that he had suffered during camp. But once again, it's a failed signing by Brandon Beane. A guy that is producing nothing and just wasting away that money from the Buffalo Bills. MVS, total waste of money. I told you guys from the get-go I hated that signing. And he's proving why I said I think that signing was terrible, because he is not a good he's not a good wide receiver. I'm sorry. He's terrible drop percentage. Coming, there's a reason why he's been to multiple teams as well. Why teams don't keep him around, and he hasn't done anything. He's produced jack squat. Dawson Knox, another guy who we paid. Love the guy, great locker room guy, good friends with Josh Allen. That's cool. All that's cool. Doesn't win you football games. That doesn't win you football games. We didn't pay that guy to be just a blocking tight end. That much money. Dalton Kincaid, who we traded up 2 years ago in a draft to get, is a no-show in this offense so far. You got to be real. I'm not saying Dalton Kincaid is bad, by the way, so don't come at me. I'm just saying he has not been effective this season. And that could be maybe on Joe Brady. That could be on Josh Allen for not giving him the ball. I don't know. But it doesn't matter. What I do know is he hasn't produced. Keon Coleman, honestly, guys, if you look so far, he's not terrible for what he's done. He's made some mistakes as a rookie, but it's going to take some time to develop. I told you guys that from the get. And that's it. This is your receiving room. A bunch of guys that aren't contributing, a bunch of guys that aren't executing, a bunch of guys that honestly shouldn't even be starting on an offense, like Mac Hollins. He's okay. He's a special teams guy. Shouldn't be your number one targeted receiver in the last 2 games. I don't get it. So, once again, I think we all got fooled. And we all in the offseason. And then I think we really got fooled because we were 3-0 and we got excited. And we were like, everybody eats. You see how that, you see? No, we don't need no top receiver. I think we do. And I hope Brandon Beane understands we do. And I got to listen, by the way, too. Great quote, too. Success is on the other side of your comfort zone. Why do I say that? Because Brandon Beane doesn't like to go outside his comfort zone. And you guys saw the thumbnail to this video. Brandon Beane does not like to go outside his comfort zone. That is a problem. For as much as I like Brandon Beane, for as much as I think he's done a really good job so far, I also think that is going to, when we all look back at this era, the McBeane era, and we don't ever win a Super Bowl with these two guys, we're going to look back and say that was the downfall because the guy didn't step outside his comfort zone and didn't really take chances. He didn't make trades when he should have. He didn't trade up for a draft pick he should have maybe drafted. Some bad selections during the draft, but mostly stepping outside your comfort zone when the Bills needed him to be a little bit more aggressive as a GM. I'm not saying for Brandon Beane to go all crazy and get us on in salary cap hell, but there comes a time where you have to make a bold move to get this team where it needs to be, and that's a Super Bowl. And y'all can say what you want. Oh, you get rid of McDermott, then who are you going to get? Ugh. Stop that. Come on, man. So if you go to the same restaurant and get the same average burger, you're just going to continue to go to that restaurant, get the same average burger, or are you going to try to go outside your comfort zone and go to a different restaurant and try their burger out? Because maybe it's just better. Or maybe it sucks and it is what it is. But why would you continue to eat the same fucking shit? Why? Because you're comfortable at that place. You're comfortable with the servers. You're comfortable because it's who knows, right? Well, it's good enough. It's good enough. I want better than good enough. We're year 8 in. This is year 8 of this McBeane era. And I'm not saying fire Brandon Beane. I'm more on the of McDermott needs to go. But It ain't going to happen. And I told you guys that, I think 2 years ago. He's going to be here when that new stadium opens up. He's going to be running out with the team, regardless of what happens over the next 2 years before that stadium opens up. So live with it. Honestly, it sucks. It does, because I think this guy hits a wall. I think this guy, he hits a wall in the playoffs. I think this guy crumbles in big moments in games like yesterday. I think the guy still hasn't learned clock management properly. He doesn't understand like the game flow, like how things are going in a game, what you should and should not do. Like yesterday, I'll give you a prime example. Our offense stunk. I think everybody in the world could see that. We weren't barely moving the ball. I'm shocked that we got 20 points. I am shocked we were in that game up until the end. To be honest with you, the offense was that ugly. But the defense luckily came around in the second half and gave the offense the opportunity to slowly creep back. And that's what happened. Slowly crept back. But if you know your offense has been flat all game and has been for the last 2.5 games, why would you throw deep 3 straight times on your own 3-yard line? When you know the Ravens, the Texans still have timeouts in their back pocket. 1, 2, the offense hasn't been working. What makes you think that Josh Allen's going to complete any of these deep passes to any of these guys? Any of them. He tried all game. Mac Hollins, Keon Coleman. Didn't work. What makes you think it was going to work all of a sudden just because it would? Because why? Because it was going to work? Oh, it's out of the... Whoa! So no time gets really taken off the clock. Barely any time. You have a punter in Sam Martin, which can barely punt 45 yards. You're giving them good field position. They only need like so many yards for a field goal, right? Where they get in field goal range. They have all 3 timeouts. What are you doing? I understand going for the first down, fine. You want to go for it just to take a shot. Maybe you get a pass interference. Maybe, just maybe, somebody gets open and Josh puts it on the spot. Okay. But it didn't happen that way. Matter of fact, it was almost an interception. If Keon Coleman didn't pretty much pass interference, the defender. Okay, now, all right, let's back up. Let's just run the ball, or let's get a short pass. Let's take some time off the clock. Let's force Houston to call some timeouts here, burn some time, give our punter more room, by the way, to punt it, where he's not basically 2 inches from going out of bounds, getting a safety and having them win. Not to mention that. But they wouldn't have enough time. We would have punted. They would have had enough for maybe Hail Mary. Maybe. Instead, you give them all the time in the world with a good quarterback, with good receivers. The receivers are good. Even without Nico Collins, they got Stephon Diggs. They got Tank Dell. They have a good tight end who was burning us most of the game. What are you doing? That falls on Sean McDermott. I don't even know if I blame Joe Brady. Sean McDermott, he's the head coach. He could dial it up. He could call up, right? They all have communications. Joe Brady, we're not doing this. We're going to, 1 attempt. That's it. If it don't work out, let's just kill the clock. Let's try to go take this thing into overtime because our offense is not clicking. Maybe our defense, maybe we get the ball first, right? Maybe we can go down and score a field goal. Or maybe they get the ball first and maybe we stop them and get good force them to punt. We get better field position. We get a field goal. We go home happy, fine. It's an ugly win. Okay? No, that's not what he did. Now, if this was years past, we have Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis. Our offense is clicking. Fine. I trust Josh in 35 seconds here. I would have been all for it. But that's not the case. That is not the fucking case. It's not. So That's what I'm talking about when it comes to Sean McDermott. Stupid shit like that. And he's done that multiple times as a head coach. And it's cost us multiple games as a head coach. Go back to the 13 seconds. That whole thing was fucked from the get-go. Right? You don't get you and your special teams coordinator can't get it down right where if we're punting it short, if we're punting it into the end zone. So that's all already like, oh, I said this, he said this. Then you play soft zone. That you give the Chiefs soft zone. What are you doing? What are you doing? Tyreek Hill can take a 5-yard pass and turn it into 25. You know Travis Kelce's danger. Why are you playing soft zone? It's Patrick Mahomes. Be aggressive. Stop. But no, that's not what he did. So we lost. And I blame that on McDermott. Absolutely, I blame that on McDermott. And by the way, the defense going to stop shit that day. I blame him last year and the playoffs as well. At the end of the game, why are you even attempting a field goal there anyways? Why? Tyler Bass is not right. Clearly, still not right. And not only that, a field goal would have like you're giving the Chiefs all that. We need to take the lead. We need a touchdown here. Right? Like, what are you doing? I don't get it. So you go for a fake punt on our own end of the field because you know that we can't stop their offense. That's what you said in the press conference because we couldn't stop them. So we had to go for it. And you do a stupid ass fake punt with Damar Hamlin. I don't get it. But then at the end of the game, when we're driving, now you want to go for a field goal instead of going for it? What are you doing? Why? What? So that's what I'm saying with Sean McDermott. He is, I don't think he's made for the big moment. I think he's a good coach. I think he's a great coach if you're rebuilding a team to get you, get you right. But then you got to bring in somebody else to finish the job. And I think that's what's going on in Buffalo with Sean McDermott, in my opinion. Y'all can think how you want. If y'all want Sean McDermott another fucking 20 years, fine. So be it. I don't. And by the way, if he's around for that long, goodbye, Josh Allen. Now we're going to play this whole let's find a quarterback thing again. I'd rather be let's find a good head coach than find a good quarterback again thing. You remember how that went? Pretty fucking shitty. All right. Anyways. Let's get to the 5 key takeaways from the Bills' loss. Oh, real quick, too. Going back on Brandon Beane and the whole comfort zone thing, because I didn't really touch base on that. What I mean by that is he needs to stop, this whole, hey, I have, because he said it multiple times. I said when I came here, like I have, this is what I want to do. I have something in place. This is what I want to do, right? Like I do not want to change my ways. Like I have a certain way that I want to handle things for the Buffalo Bills, and I want to get the salary cap this way. I want to get, I want to draft players and re-sign those players when they're draft, all this stuff, right? He had a certain way that he was sticking to, and he's been pretty true to that. But once again, man, it's not working. It isn't working. Like the ultimate goal is a Super Bowl. So for me, it's not working. And what I mean by stepping out your comfort zone is instead of hoarding all these fucking draft picks that you continue to hoard, and a lot of them aren't working out, or you're cutting them, or they're practice squad guys and they're getting scooped up by somebody else, or they're guys that are injury prone guys, or guys that are project players that you're holding on for, like Justin Shorter, not working out. Why not step outside your comfort zone and get rid of those draft picks, some of those draft picks, for a player that can play football? Say what you want about Stephon Diggs, but he produced. And yeah, that finally, like, it probably took him a lot to do that, by the way, to step outside his comfort zone and pull that trade off, by the way. And I don't look, we can all look back in time now and go, damn, Justin Jefferson, damn. We could have had Justin Jefferson. Fuck. Of course, in hindsight. But on the flip side, It's not like Stephon Diggs didn't produce anything while he was here. It's not like Justin Jefferson has gone to a Super Bowl with Minnesota. So really, yeah, of course I would want Justin Jefferson here. But at the same time, Stephon Diggs produced. If he didn't produce, I would say, damn, that was a terrible trade. But we needed that at that moment. We did. Josh Allen needed that veteran wide receiver leadership, that guy, the go-to guy, a guy that he could count on game after game to make it happen, to make a play happen. And that was Stephon Diggs, no matter what you guys feel about him. And I wasn't happy the last year and a half he was here. And I'm okay. Like I said, once again, I'm okay with him leaving, with them trading him because he didn't want to be here. But at the end of the day, he still produced. And he was still the guy when we needed a big play. He was the guy. For the most part, he was the guy. We don't have that now. We don't have that. And you could see it in Josh Allen's demeanor after these games. Listen, he's not going to throw anybody under the bus. He's not going to be like, man, this receiver room is not doing it for us, guys. Like, he's not going to tell the media that. You think he's going to throw anybody under the bus or make any of these guys in the locker room hate him? But do you really think he truly feels that way? Of course not. By the way, he didn't even throw Kelvin Benjamin under the bus. And the guy that deserved to be thrown under the bus. A terrible teammate in Kelvin Benjamin. He still didn't throw him under the bus with that whole didn't want to practice with him before the game or throw around, basically get some reps in before one of the games started. Yeah, I know you all remember that story. And Josh Allen still didn't throw him under the bus. He still had his back. So I don't expect Josh Allen ever to do that to a coach, a player, ever. So you're going to hear Josh Allen praise these guys still, but the truth of the matter is they're not good and they're not helping him. The only guy we can count on right now, to be honest with you, is Khalil Shakir. I don't even know Dalton Kincaid can be counted on at this point. He's dropping passes this year. He's not really heavily involved in the offense. Dawson Knox surely isn't involved. MVS is surely not involved. Curtis Samuel, not involved or can't get involved. Whatever the hell's going on there. Mac Hollins is Mac fucking Hollins. Should I say anymore? Keon Coleman's a rookie. They still need to build that chemistry. You could still see Josh kind of not really wanting to give him a lot of targets. I think that will go up in time, but right now it's early. And Khalil Shakir is the guy. He is the security blanket. He's the guy. When we need a play, he will produce for the most part. But he's not a number one. I think he can be a solid number two in the NFL. And when I mean solid, I'm talking close to 1,000 yards, if not 1,000 yards. Like, I really do believe that. Like, he could be the Eric Moulton Peerless Price duo in 2002, right? Where they both had over 1,000 yards. I could definitely see that happening. But you got to get number one. Keon Coleman as well. I think Keon Coleman in time could be a really good number two, possibly a number one, maybe. I got to see more. Right now, I would say no he could be a number one receiver, but it's so early. And I really like the player, and I think he can get better. I think he can master his craft as the seasons go on and the game gets a little slower for him. And he learns more. So I'm not gonna bash Keon Coleman just yet and tell you guys I don't think he's gonna be a good receiver in the NFL. But the truth of the matter is this, guys, we need help. We need a wide receiver that can get open, that can get separation, that can help this offense move. Because right now, Josh Allen is doing what he can. He's holding the ball way too long because he's waiting for receivers to get separated. Right? To get separation. And what's happening is the pocket eventually collapses. He has to get out of the pocket. And by then, maybe there's a receiver open. Because I know a lot of you guys are like, he was wide open. Yeah, after Allen was holding the ball for like 3 seconds and had to run for dear life. You know how hard it is on some of these throws that he's making because he has no other choice. Like, not a lot of quarterbacks could do what he does. I'm just throwing that at you. So, yeah, they may be open at a certain part of the whole play, but not until it's too late. Until Josh Allen's already under duress and he's running for dear life. He's looking everywhere. Bro, you guys, you have to understand it. There's a clock back there. Every quarterback has like a clock in their head. They have to know when to get rid of the ball and get out of that pocket before it collapses. The offensive line can only hold for so long. And by the way, the offensive line isn't doing their job either this year. I don't think they're playing terrible, but I also don't think they're playing as good as they were last year. And that could be because we shifted the line around again, where we have McGovern at center, David Edwards at left guard. Just throwing that out there. Because last year, it was fine. This year, it's shaky. It is shaky. So I guess where I'm going is this: we need a playmaker. We need a real, true playmaker on this team. And I got some bad news for you too, guys. Even if Khalil Shakir, when Khalil Shakir returns, he ain't gonna be 100%, guys. He's dealing with a high ankle sprain. He had a boot on. He wasn't even on the sidelines against the Texans. That means he didn't even travel with the team. That means his ankle is jacked the fuck up. So once again, you guys know how these ankles work, how these ankle sprains work. Some of these guys play through it, but they're not 100%. And as a receiver, all the cutting you do, the stopping, you need your ankles to be pretty solid, good, 100%. He ain't going to be 100%, which is going to limit him. We need help. And Brandon Beane better be aggressive, and he better be on the phone this week. Because I'm sure he was on the phone last week. I'm sure he made some calls because he always says, I'm not doing my job if I don't at least make the phone call, blah, 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 blah. But we all also know that Brandon Beane is not aggressive, probably with those phone calls. They probably want certain things, and he's not willing to give up his precious draft picks. Well, bud, it's time to step outside your comfort zone. It's time to help this team out. And listen, if Brandon Beane doesn't get help for this team, and I'm not talking about a trade where he brings in some bullshit receiver or he picks up some bullshit free agent receiver that we never heard of or has been out of the league the last 2 years or has been on some practice squad. I'm talking about a real playmaker. And y'all know who I'm talking about. Adams, Cooper, either one of those guys. I'm not sure if D-Hop is available. Mikey thinks he is. He could be. Fine. I'll take either one of those guys. Make it happen. Don't give me, by the way, guys, don't come at me with a salary cap thing. It can always be bent and worked out, right? They do it all the time. The best GMs do it all the time. By the way, Cooper wouldn't even cost us that much because the Cleveland Browns are eating a lot of his contract, his guarantees. It wouldn't even cost a lot. Okay, so if money's the issue, be aggressive with Cleveland. And I heard even through the Raiders that they'd be willing to eat some of the contract depending on what they're getting back. You got to be aggressive. And I listen, I think he made phone calls, like I said, last week, but I don't think they were aggressive phone calls. I know they weren't. But you got to be aggressive. The only good news, the only good thing I see for this team right now is we're getting players back on defense. That is the only good thing. But offensively, it's a mess. It is a mess. And by the way, for all those good people out there, James Cook, top 5 running back. James Cook, the best. No, bro. No. Stop. He had a good year last year because he had really good help with the offensive line. I'm not saying James Cook is a bad football player. So stop coming at me like, oh, James Cook, top 5. James Cook is a good running back, but he ain't a great running back. He ain't a game changer. So stop with that. We don't have that on our roster on offense. We have one guy, fucking Josh Allen, who cannot be your running back, receiver, and your tight end. He's your quarterback. And right now we have nothing to go to. He needs help. And if Brandon Beane doesn't get the help this year, you know what that tells me? He's not sold on this team this year. And he never was. And this is a reset, right? And maybe he's waiting until next season, this coming up off season to, work the draft, maybe get some other free agents. But how has that worked? How has that worked out? Because I'm going to tell you all right now, the division sucks ass. We're going to probably get in the playoffs by default. And I still don't think we're going to have a bad record. We're going to have a decent record. So what does that tell you? We're not going to get a top 10 draft pick, guys. We never do. We haven't had one since Ed Oliver. And to get a really good receiver, most of the time, you need to be in that top 10. Or at least top 15. To get a real playmaker. Now, you can get lucky and get a receiver late in the rounds. But it's a little bit of luck involved. A little bit of luck. And we haven't had it. Have we had the luck, guys? By the way, tell me the luck. Where's the luck at? Where have we drafted a guy that we're like, whoa? And I'm talking about on offense, guys. Give me that guy that you're like, damn. Can't believe we got him in the 5th round. Now, mind you, there's some players that have achieved a little bit more than what we thought. Gabe Davis, I think, was a 4th round. I think he did pretty good for being a 4th round. I think Devin Singletary for a 3rd round did pretty damn good. James Cook, what is James Cook? A 2nd round, I believe, 2nd or 3rd round. I think he is living up to his draft pick. Khalil Shakir. But nothing great. These aren't guys that defensive coordinators are like afraid of. And the one guy we finally traded up for, Dalton Kincaid, who I do still believe in, I don't know if he's scaring anybody. I mean, he's dropping passes this year. He's not getting good separation. He's not really involved much in the offense. So where are these magical picks that are taking this team to another level? We haven't had that for a long time on offense. Probably Josh Allen. Josh Allen. That's it. Because they keep concentrating on defense. Oh, defense. Got to bring defense. Got to pay the money on defense. Von Miller. High draft picks. Defense. Okay. Well, our defense ain't elite. It's good. But it ain't changing games. It's not getting us a Super Bowl. You got to change your way. You got to go outside your comfort zone a little bit, Brandon Beane. All right. I'm done with that rant. Let's get on to the takeaways. I'm sorry, guys. It's a little upsetting. All right. 5 takeaways from the Bills 23-20 loss to the Texans. Shout out to Bills Wire for creating this article. Okay. Here we go. That hurts. Look at this guy right here. This fucking guy, bro. I know our offense hasn't been good all game, but I think now is the time that we can be that we're going to actually make some plays. Let's be aggressive at our own 3, and let's just throw deep every down. Yeah, I like that, Joe Brady. Yeah, dial it up. Oh, it didn't work. We almost intercepted the first. No, don't worry, Joe Brady. I want you to do it again and again. Fucking guy, man. All right, here we go. Oh boy, what a punch to the gut. As referenced, the Bills went down thanks to a very, very long kick from Fairbairn. He was rightfully carried off the field by his teammates. By the way, great kick. Tyler Bass would have never made that. What will be put in the spotlights in Buffalo's coaching staff? After being gifted an intentional grounding to give them the ball back, the Bills ended up being on their own goal line. They failed to move the ball and threw it 3 times. Because the clock was stopped, it allowed the Texans to kick that bomb of a kick with 2 seconds left. Had Buffalo ran the ball, it could have been different. Oh, really? Yeah, no shit. Wow. Yeah, it could have been different. A different outcome. At least it would have given us opportunity in overtime. And I would have been, listen, even if we lose in overtime, at least I would have went back in that game and said, McDermott did the right thing there. at the end of the game by taking in overtime because of how the offense was playing and how our defense was playing. I would have much rather go into overtime and take my chances there than what he did, because clearly what he did cost us the game and we lost the game. Coaching is it's been bad. It's been bad. And Sean McDermott is the head coach, and he's the one that deserves all the blame. Circle the wagons. To their credit, the Bills did come back. Down 20-3, Buffalo put up 17 unanswered points. There was a lot of fight in this team, and they deserve credit for that. But most would have been happy to not be down so big in the first place. The Bills were lifeless early on, and they have been over the last 2 games. They have come out the gate with zero juice, like a horse race, and the fucking horse is the last horse out the gate, just trotting along. Did the race start? Yeah, bro, let's go. And the defense finally got it. Now, this is 2 games, by the way. The defense has finally kind of gotten it in the second half where they adjusted. Because let's be honest, against the Ravens, the defense actually gave this team an opportunity, gave the offense an opportunity to get back in the game. And they had the opportunity. And they did the stupid trick play. And that is the rest of the game. And they did it again against the Texans. Found themselves in a big hole. Winded up only giving up 6 points, surrendering 6 points in the second half. The Bills, come on, 20 points. That is enough. If your defense only gives up 20 points, you should win that. You should win a football game. You should, especially our team. I'm sorry. And we didn't. By the way, too, Bills had a big turnover and we got 3 points out of it on their side, in great field position. Terrible play calling once again by Joe Brady. Because we go up there by 4. I don't think Houston goes and gets a touchdown on their last drive. I don't. I really don't. The way our defense was playing. But no, we settle for a field goal and we tie the game instead of taking the lead. And why not call a timeout there if you know Josh Allen can come back in the game instead of handing the ball off to James Cook? A waste of a down. By the way, why are you running the ball every time on first down as well? Like, if I'm a defense coordinator, like, that is the easiest fucking game plan. I'm going into a game against the Buffalo Bills. I'm going, go defense. Guess what? This guy does the same fucking play calling almost every game, especially on first down. So they're going to run on first down. So just stack the box and let's just get them negative yards right away. I'm like, it's so obvious. You know, I don't know what to say there about that with Joe Brady, but you gotta play. You gotta throw something different in there. You gotta mix it up, bud. You can't keep doing the same play on first down over and over and over. Like, it's mind-boggling to me because I as a fan watching on my TV know that the Buffalo Bills are about to run the ball on first down. I know it's coming. You don't think the defensive coordinator who's paid on the other side of the field, who's paid good, does this for a living, knows the exact same thing? Of course he does. It just makes no sense. It makes no sense. All right, let's get to the next one. Huge takeaways. While the Bills' offense did crawl back in it with the points, it would not have happened without huge plays on defense. Linebacker Terrell Bernard returned to the lineup from his pectoral injury and recorded a clutch interception. Pass rusher Dwayne Smoot forced a fumble on Texas quarterback C.J. Stroud, and linebacker Dorian Williams jumped on it. Clutch plays. Yeah, man. I thought our defense came alive in the second half for sure. They were way more aggressive, got to C.J. Stroud, got turnovers. That's what you want. They gave the offense an opportunity to win that football game, and the offense absolutely shit the bed. Pretty much. Okay. So yeah, I mean, shout out to the defense for the second half. Not the greatest start, but they turned it around. Tough day passing. Boy. The Bills were leaning on quarterback Josh Allen. He fought his way through a potential head injury late, but even before then, he struggled. Allen did not have a lot of time to pass as the offensive line was poor. Allen was only sacked once, but was hit 9 total times. His final stat line was a brutal 9 for 30, passing for 131 yards with 1 touchdown. And those are ugly, ugly numbers. His last 2 games, I feel like I'm watching, Josh Allen's rookie year all over again. Where, guess what? You all remember that rookie? You all remember his rookie year? Now, yeah, Josh Allen wasn't the greatest. We know he was kind of bad. But do you remember his wide receiver room? Whoa, it's kind of looking like this one. I mean, am I wrong? Robert Foster? Is Mac Hollins our new Robert Foster? I mean, what's going on here? Like, that is the same. Think about it. Zay Jones, Robert Foster. We had nobody to throw to. Our tight end, what was his name? Charles Clay. I mean, like, we had no weapons for Josh Allen, and it showed, and it's showing now. It's like we're going back in time. Like, Brandon Beane didn't see that back in 2018 and go, damn, it's kind of familiar. It's kind of familiar here. And if the results are kind of the same. Now, granted, we didn't, Khalil Shakir obviously way better than any of the receivers we had in 2018. But you can't just, get by with Khalil Shakir, who's a really good number 2. You can't. Like I said, I was up for it until the reality set in that these guys can't get separation. These guys aren't really good enough to start on most teams, yet they're starting on ours. I don't know. Keon versus Steph. Second round rookie for the Bills, wide receiver Keon Coleman had a big play against the Texans. He turned a short catch on 4th down into 49-yard touchdown. Even so, that was his only catch on 5 targets in the game, but he hung with it. There were growing pains and signs of promise. On the flip side, Diggs, the former Bill, led his team. Diggs had 6 catches for 82 yards. He stepped up with a star wide out Nico Collins going down with an injury. However, Diggs didn't really make a mega play either. But the real comparison was the Bills' entire receiving room. Combined, they had 4 catches for 76 yards on 18 targets. That's very poor. And it is. It's disgusting. It's poor. It's ugly. But it's been that way over the last 5 games, guys. Like, I think we just all were like caught up in the record, going 3-0. We had some big victories, scoring a lot of points there for a minute. We got caught up, but we didn't really let's take a step back and look at the receiving room and go, ooh, those are ugly numbers. I'm shocked. How did we get that many points? And when you start playing better teams down this, right, which we are now, it's showing. It's showing that this receiving room is really bad. And I don't know if it changes unless we get a trade here, unless we get somebody here that knows what the fuck they're doing. I honestly don't. Right now, I got to be real with you. I have no faith in Curtis Samuel. I have no faith clearly in MVS. I have no faith in Dawson Knox at this point. I have a little faith in Keon Coleman. I got a lot of faith in Khalil Shakir, but he's injured and he's going to come back and not be 100%. And Dalton Kincaid is, I don't know. I really don't know how to feel about Dalton Kincaid right now, guys, but I don't know if I am super confident that he also can just turn it around and be that guy we thought he was going to be this season. So this is where we're at. It's time that Brandon Beane makes a move, and if he doesn't, then this team's not going anywhere. And if we get into the playoffs, it's going to be by default because the division is so bad, and we're not going to make any type of noise in the playoffs with this team. I'm sorry. The reality is the reality, and the truth sometimes hurt, and that's why I play that little snippet. Sometimes you can't handle the truth. Well, I'm here to bring it to you, and numbers don't lie. And my eyes don't lie. And I don't think they lie to you either. You saw what you saw out there. And we have a lot of players right now that are getting paid and are underperforming. A ton, a shit ton. Now, I'm going to be real with you. There's very few players right now on this roster that we paid that are actually doing their job. I went down this list before, but I mean, you guys know it. AJ Epinesa is not doing good this year. I'm not saying he's playing awful, but he is not living up to the contract, and I thought he would be even better because I thought last year he improved. And I thought this year he got paid, he come back, he's getting the starting job now. No. And I'm thinking now he's more of a depth guy. You need a true edge rusher next to Gregor Rousseau, in my opinion. But he's not living up to his contract. Curtis Samuel, clearly not. MVS, clearly not. Dawson Knox, clearly not. Tyler Bass, clearly not. I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but somebody else. But a lot of these guys are underperforming. And let's be real, Matt Milano. I love Matt Milano, but the dude can't stay healthy. It's 2 years in a row. We paid him, and he can't stay on the field. Cannot stay on the field. So it's going to be a Trey White situation all over again. I hate to say it. Good guy, great guy. When healthy, dude makes plays. Okay, great, but he's never healthy. So really, on all honesty, yeah, he's another one that you could throw on that list of guys that we're paying that are underperforming, whether that be because of injury or just their performance on the football field. And we've gone down this road many years under Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott, where we've paid players that have underperformed, and we either winded up cutting them or just eating the contract, or they're just here for the remainder of the contract and they just don't perform, and we just eat it. And it sucks because we have opportunities to pick up players and we don't have the money because we're spending the money on players that are underperforming. And it's a story of the Buffalo Bills, and it continues to be the story of the Buffalo Bills. And I hope that changes. And I hope Brandon Beane makes a change, gets outside his comfort zone, and pulls off a trade and gets Josh Allen some real help. Stop playing this game. Because you drafted this guy. You drafted Josh Allen for a reason. He's your franchise quarterback. You're paying him a shit ton of money. Get the dude some help, man. Like, you have yourself an elite quarterback, and you're giving him thrift store receivers. I mean, that's the truth. You're giving him fucking thrift store receivers instead of going out there and buying. It'd be like me. Like, look, I'm going to give you a great example, too. I bought an 86-inch TV like 3 years ago, and I could have bought a fucking cheap entertainment center to go with it, all right? Like a rinky-dinky one. No. I said, you know what? If I got this fucking great TV, I'm going to line it up with a great-looking entertainment center. Why would I have one great thing next to an ugly thing? So I went out and spent a shit ton of money on a fireplace, nice entertainment center to go along with my TV because it made sense. Make it make sense, Brandon Beane. Make it make sense. You got yourself an elite quarterback. Get him some help, man. Stop playing this fucking game where you're just going out thrift store shopping all the time and getting these garbage-ass, bummy receivers that can't even stay on a team more than a year like Mac fucking Hollins. No defense corner is shaking in his boots because Mac Hollins on the football field. Nobody. Not one defensive coordinator. Matter of fact, not one defensive coordinator is going against our team right now and going, damn, outside of Josh Allen, who do we got to worry about? Who do we really got to worry about right now? Let me look around. Nobody. Let's just put pressure on Josh Allen. Let's rush him. Let's send blitzes, different design blitz packages, put pressure on him because we don't think any of these guys can get separation early on in the route. And he's going to be running for his life. He's going to make a mistake, or we're going to sack him, or we're going to turn the ball over. We have like Josh Allen pretty much has to pull something out of his ass to get a touchdown. Like pretty much lately. I mean, really, honestly, the one to Shakir, that bomb pass that he did where he was going out of bounds. It was like 40-yard pass that set us up for the touchdown against the Ravens. Bro, tell me another quarterback to make that. Maybe Patrick Mahomes. That's it. But he has to pull that out to get this offense in the red zone. Like, nothing is easy. Nothing is coming easy because No one's making it easy for Josh Allen. No one. So I put that on Brandon Beane for putting him in this fucking for putting him here in this position. And then, of course, I got to blame Joe Brady, too, for being so predictable on his play calling. Very predictable. Very vanilla over the last 2 weeks, especially over the last 2 weeks. Coaching scared, not getting certain players involved that should be involved. By the way, read a great stat. You want to hear another one? Unbelievable here. So look at this one here. Saw this one today. I thought you guys would get a kick out of this one. So yesterday, let's see if I can find it. Yeah. So yesterday, the Bills ran 61 plays yesterday. Keon Coleman and Dalton Kincaid, highly drafted players, were not on the field for 38% of them. 38%. It says, and that's it. I mean, they should be getting 80% out there of the plays. Why are your best playmakers not on the field? And I'm not saying they're like, these guys are the best in the NFL. Why you sit? But they're the best what you got right now. Kincaid and Coleman are your best options in that game. And you limit them? What? What are you doing? What is going on here? Like, what? This is what drives me insane, guys. Like, little stats like that should not be. Why aren't you running 12 personnel when you're paying Dawson Knox all this money? Why is he not involved? Him and Josh Allen have been playing together for a very long time now. Dawson Knox has been on this team for a while. Dawson Knox has proven to us that he is that he can be reliable, that he can catch footballs, that he can get touchdowns. Matter of fact, he was tied with 8 touchdowns with Travis Kelce one year for tight ends, for the league lead in touchdowns. All of a sudden now, we don't know, Dawson. We don't know how to use him right. It honestly, guys, it's crazy. But anyways, I'm going to be back here tonight with Mikey at 9:00. Bills Monday night nightcap. I hope you guys join us. It'll be more of us bitching about this Buffalo Bills team until things change. I mean, what can I do? Sorry that I went so long, but it needed to be said. Bills Mafia, I love you. And as always, go Bills. I'm out of here. Peace.